7 marathons in 7 days covering 7 continents. It was all to raise money and awareness of Parkinson's disease. A Denver resident did it all just a month ago, and he's alive. He's here with us. Karan Rai. We were just talking in the break there about 7 continents. I mean, running a marathon for most people is a monumental achievement. Doing it in 7 days, amazing. The most difficult continent, you were just telling me, is Antarctica.
Yeah, it was for 2 reasons. One, it was the very first marathon, so just the jitters of getting the adventure started.
Right.
2, the logistics of getting there. It's not the easiest place to get to.
No.
And 3, once we got there, you're running on a glacier practically, and it was minus 27 with 40-mile-an-hour winds and uneven surface. So.
And how'd you get there? You were just telling me that it involved some other countries' help.
Yeah, so we ran at a Russian logistics base deep in the heart of Antarctica. And so we flew on a Russian military transport plane to get to Antarctica from Cape Town.
So 7 marathons in 7 days, you're probably not looking around much, but was there one that was more beautiful? You get to see the whole world. Which one was your favorite?
You know, Antarctica was pretty in its own way because it's just so different than what you and I get to see every day. But Perth, which was our 3rd marathon, we ran that in Western Australia. And we started running that about 4 p.m. and it was right by the bay, and it was probably one of the prettiest sunsets I've ever seen, which came in handy because it was 95 degrees and brutal and humid.
Yeah, any issues as far as like any time it looked like it may not happen or something might break down or you might break down?
Interesting question. So I actually ended up completely accidentally tearing my right meniscus 7 days before I started this journey. So we weren't sure how far we would be able to kind of get through this journey. But the body held up, made it a little bit more challenging, but the body held up. And big shout out to the guys who arranged the logistics, because managing 40 runners through 7 continents in 7 days, you know, trying to get this done in 168 hours, I mean, they just did a phenomenal job.
Very taxing on you physically. You talked about all the people that had to help you do it. It's an expensive proposition, and yet this is all a fundraiser.
100%. The primary reason to do this was to raise money for the Parkinson's Foundation. Mm-hmm. My father, who's 83 now, he got diagnosed with Parkinson's about 7 years ago. And he was very active. He's a special forces guy, military man, was an adventurer, climbed mountains. And just to see, for those who don't know, Parkinson's, primarily it affects your mobility. That's one of the main manifestations. But just to kind of see him from the life he was living to what that disease has done to the quality of his life. And 1 million people in the U.S. suffer from Parkinson's, and it's one of the few neurological diseases that I just don't think gets enough coverage, enough funding for research. There's no cure for it at the moment. So I partnered with Parkinsons.org, it's a great foundation out of New York, out of Miami rather. And we said, yeah, let's go raise some money and do it in a fun way that brings people in, raises awareness, and here we are.
Well, seeing the world sounds like fun. Running 26 miles, 385 yards every day for 7 days doesn't strike all of us as fun. Talk about what the fundraising did. What were you able to achieve, and are there ways that people could still contribute to what you've done?
Sure. So the goal was to raise $77,777, kind of in line with the 777 construct for this race. Right. We were able to raise. We've already raised over $80,000, so we're pretty pleased with that. Right. The fundraiser is still open. We can send you guys a link. It's at Parkinsons.org. Right. And in terms of the money. A lot of the money is still going to research in Parkinson's. I mean, there's no reason that this debilitating disease shouldn't have a cure by now, and I do believe that lack of funding is one of the primary reasons it doesn't.
What are we seeing here?
Yes. So that's my father right there, and we surprised him. So I ran this in his honor, and when I finished, I showed up at his home in Houston, Texas, and I presented him with all 7 of the medals for finishing the race. And he's a pretty tough guy, but he got a little emotional, so I've been making a lot of fun of him for being a little soft nowadays.
Oh, well, that's great to see. What do you do here in Denver when you're not doing all that?
It seems like for the last 9 months training, that's all I had been doing. Yeah. But I run a private equity firm, and I'm in Denver. I moved to Denver in July, so I'm a fairly new resident of Denver, and I kind of do a little bit of a commute between Denver and New York.
Well, congratulations, and thanks for sharing your story with us, and thanks for what you've done for people with Parkinson's and families who suffer when someone within that family gets Parkinson's.
Well, thank you so much for having me and allowing me to raise the voice for the people with Parkinson's. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Karan Rai.